it is important in times like these to have a distraction. And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively. Some of you may be wondering what's going on here. I have a PICC line in my arm, and no, I'm not on the substance. Sydney Sweeney is not about to climb out of my back. Nicole Kidman in Baby Girl, face down in a carpet. I know it wasn't a musical, but you definitely hit some notes that I've never heard before. It's a huge year for biopics, a complete unknown about Bob Dylan, about Maria Callas, and Honora about Melania Trump. Stellar year for women of all ages, reaching new heights in career-defining roles. Pam Anderson, Marianne Jean-Baptiste, Jamie Lee Curtis, Jean Smart, Demi Moore, Nicole Kidman. And then there was Cynthia Erivo. My God.
For the first time at the premiere, you find out that Blake Lively tells people that all of a sudden he wrote a scene in the movie. I mean, you know, shocking everybody, shocking Sony, shocking the production staff.
And then the hit piece had a bunch of text messages and emails between Baldoni and his PR team. Baldoni ended up being dropped from William Morris Agency, which is one of the biggest agencies in the world. Lively claimed that she missed hosting SNL because of the Baldoni smear campaign.
She's knocking them both. She's sort of saying, like, enough, you two, this is ridiculous. Why is this even a thing? And to me, that means it's a knock on Blake.
And then Baldoni is now counter-suing. He sued the New York Times for $250 million. He claims that Ryan Reynolds aggressively berated him.
She seems like kind of a jerk. Wow, she's like kind of a bully. whatever, it kind of passed. It was over. But like a lot of thin-skinned Hollywood types, she couldn't stand the fact that it was still lingering in any way out there. And she decided to file a complaint with the California Human Rights Division. And the reason he allegedly did this is because she'd accused him during the filming of the movie of sexual harassment.
But they did make a movie together called It Ends With Us. She claimed Baldoni had improvised unwanted kissing and discussed his life, including encounters in which he said he may not have received consent. Mr. Heath, the producer Jamie Heath, had shown her a video of his wife naked, she said, and he had watched Miss Lively in her trailer when she was topless and having body makeup removed, despite her asking him to look away.
And she decided to file a complaint with the California Human Rights Division. But that was really, I believe, and it is alleged by Justin's lawyers now, just a setup so that she could give the New York Times cover to do a huge hit piece on him and attempted rehab of her. For Blake Lively. So he's first filed a defamation lawsuit against the New York Times for their totally irresponsible report about this matter, in which they made a mistake, so egregious mistakes, I mean, intentional errors, you could argue. Did have internal PR meetings about what they might have to do, because this woman, Leslie Sloan, who works for the Ryan and Blake, was dropping hit piece after hit piece on Justin, and that Blake had spent the entire prior year trying to wrest control of this movie away from Justin Baldoni. It was his film. He was the director. He's the producer. He's the one who found the book and got the idea for it. And she was such a brat that she wanted to control every scene, wanted to see all the dailies, wanted to do her own cut, and did her own cut of the movie. All this is very unusual for just an actress in the film.
So it is important in times like these to have a distraction. And that's why I want to personally extend my gratitude to Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively.
No sympathy, no outrage, just pure sarcasm. And the way the audience laughed instead of gasped, that's Hollywood's way of saying they're over it. Now people are trying to figure out why Blake hasn't gotten the overwhelming support she probably expected.
Is this even a thing? And to me, that means it's a knock on Blake. I want you to watch this joke. Let's see how you guys take it.
I am your DEI host, Chelsea Handler.
She has made herself into the new Amber Heard, and he is the new Johnny Depp. That's what's caught people's attention. She had a round of negative publicity when this movie she did, It Ends With Us, about domestic violence. It's just the picture they're painting of him is so gross. It's another Amber Johnny situation, in my opinion.
This is ridiculous. Why are we here, Blake? Because again, you gotta remember, Blake filed this suit, not Justin. Blake filed this suit. And if all of Hollywood is really believing her and Ryan, well, then why are they laughing? It's because this shouldn't be funny. This shouldn't be funny if we are seriously taking Blake's case so serious, which we're not. Her case has no evidence. It's complete nonsense. He called me sexy and asked how much I weigh when he has a back problem. It is absurd what she's accusing him of, as we've broken down. And the evidence he's provided so far is showing she's not telling the truth. So people are clearly paying attention. It's all Hollywood can talk about. To see them laughing here, but all I will say is this is not, Blake Lively's not. So if you're mad that she's calling out Justin too, in a way, of enough you guys, I would challenge back. This is absolutely not good for Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds.
Justin Baldoni did a very smart thing, and he hired Brian Friedman, my lawyer who represented me in my fight with NBC. And let me tell you, you could ask for no better.
At this point, Blake isn't just fighting for legal vindication, she's fighting for her entire career. The trial is officially set for March 2026, and everything hangs on what evidence comes out next. If she can't back up her claims, she won't just lose the case, she'll lose public trust, credibility, and possibly millions in damages. And in Hollywood, once your reputation takes a hit like that, there's no script that can save you.
Showing how Justin and his PR team were out to smear poor innocent Blake, conspiring, saying, look at this article in the Daily Mail saying she's terrible and she's about to be canceled. And the other PR hack writes back, you're that good.
So Blake Lively thought she was controlling the narrative, but with Chelsea Handler's roast, leaked evidence, and a mountain of lawsuits stacking up, things are spiraling fast. If this case collapses, she's not just facing legal trouble. She's facing career-ending consequences. And with the trial set for March 2021, this Hollywood drama is far from over.
Hey, Blake. It is 2 a.m. Hopefully this does not wake you up. I want to start with an apology. Man, reading the second part of your message, my heart sank. And I'm really sorry.
And Flaw responded afterwards saying that this whole thing got, publicized, your lawsuit, saying she is in no way connected to any attempt to smear Blake Lively.
I think the thing too about having, your parents go through all that, they made a lot of sacrifices so that we could be okay and we could be protected from all that. And, I've heard a lot of very crazy stories, and to see somebody who's, a mother and she has 3 kids and she's done a lot of wonderful things too, you can overcome that. And I came from a place where I wasn't privileged or I didn't really have anything handed to me necessarily, so I think it doesn't matter where you come from. You can achieve things.
And that's what. And they also can talk about the other things, and so I just think that they're able to capture that beautiful moment, that sweetness of youth.
How did you both feel when you saw the shop for the first time?
I mean, Russell Barnes, our production designer, and every single, set decorations, like all of it, incredible art department. They just did such beautiful work. They were open because Colleen is the first person to say, she's like, I don't get into super detailed descriptions. So she was like, so for me, when I think of the flower shop, like everybody gets to project their own idea onto it, because she's not, saying, and then the cerulean blue flower in the corner as it drips down from the, They asked me a lot about, sort of what I felt in the space. They looked at my wardrobe and what we were doing there, and just making sure that all of the pieces were speaking to themselves. And those are the best department heads, the ones who are saying, okay, let's work together to tell this story and to share this character, versus each one working in a silo. And then you go in and you're like, oh, this is incongruous. Like, this room is not what this person would have designed her room to look like. And this is what she looks and acts like. So anyway, it was really special.
Cast as a young Blake Lively.
I mean, it's wild, I mean, not only Blake Lively. I mean, you're phenomenal, but also to be a young Lily.
I was like, I feel like that there's a disservice too, because she's in the movie. She's not doing me. She's bringing herself to the role as a young Lily. And I think that there's a key difference in that, because like I think if she would have come in and tried to do me, it would have been like a Saturday Night Live situation, which is wonderful in a time and place for Saturday Night Live, but this is not that. And she really like studied Lily and brought Lily to the table, and I studied Lily and brought Lily to the table, and
then we came together and went, that's this.
Yeah,
this is
exactly.
What that is. Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No,
Me respond? Will Handler face backlash for her joke? Will Hollywood move on? Or will this be the defining controversy of the year? One thing is certain. The Critics' Choice Awards just set the tone for how this saga will be remembered. And for Blake Lively, that might not be the ending she was hoping for.